Hello and welcome back. Today we are making broccoli chickpea stir fry, also called broccoli garlic stir fry if you're looking for it on Pinterest. I do not have the original recipe anymore, but that is what it was called. However, I'm calling it broccoli chickpea stir fry right now because of the algorithm and the fact that there's way more chickpeas than broccoli in it. The first thing you're probably going to want to do is make your rice. You will use 1.5 cups of rice for this recipe. I'm using brown rice. It takes 60 minutes to cook fully, but white rice will take only 30 some odd minutes depending on your rice cooker. And then you're going to want to add whatever the quantity of water is that you need. For rice, the best quantity for long grain rice is 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. And for brown rice, at least with my rice cooker, I've noticed the best ratio is 2.5 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. I went ahead and minced the garlic. There are 3 cloves of garlic in this recipe. And then you will add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the skillet.
Been a long time since I met someone in Perth.
Set the heat to medium and then add the garlic to the skillet. Mix the garlic up fairly well so that the oil is covering all of it. Otherwise, the garlic will probably burn.
That's a sign that this may be right. Been a long time since I met someone who would call.
The recipe then says to dice half a white onion and add that to the skillet. But I had some onions in the freezer from an earlier recipe, so I'm going to go ahead and use these. The good thing about freezing onions is that as long as they will get soft when they're cooked, you can freeze them without any change in texture. So I'm throwing in what I think is probably half an onion. It's probably a little bit less than it should have been.
More than a few days, oh, before our first time. But I still don't trust your intentions.
Enjoy this super fast montage of onions cooking.
Now you're to mention. I swear to God, every time I try, I lose focus on my players, my precious plans. But maybe I could make a little room for you, either up to spill your secrets.
Next, you'll add 1 tablespoon of ginger,
So think about all my faults. Maybe I could make a
1 teaspoon of onion powder, I'm not sure why there's onions and onion powder in this recipe. I believe if you don't have the real onions, you can just substitute extra onion powder. And then 1 teaspoon of paprika. Mix that all pretty well and then saute for 3 to 4 minutes.
Bake all my hopes into a bed of trust. Light from the morning till dusk, pretending there's not something to do. Maybe I could make a little room. Been a long time since I've been blushing.
The recipe then says to add 1/3 cup of vegetable broth, and I do not have any vegetable broth, so I'm going to be using chicken bouillon powder that I made, and I'm mixing that with 1/3 cup of water. If you'd like to make your own chicken bouillon, which can be used as vegetable bouillon as well, then check out my recipe for lemon spinach spaghetti. I did make some more chicken bouillon when I made that meal, so I threw in a video of the ingredients for that. Then you're going to chop a broccoli crown and add those pieces to the skillet.
Let somebody might be worth the cost, but I've grown so much to know my standards aren't high enough. How can I reconcile a partner that contradicts with my self-love?
Add the vegetable broth and the cut broccoli to the skillet and cook for 10 minutes. Then add the rest of the spices in this recipe.
I still don't know my intentions. You seem to genuinely like me, not to mention
My broccoli crown was a little smaller than I usually buy, so I threw in some extra frozen broccoli that I had saved in my freezer from an earlier recipe.
of hurting someone to the point where they can't be near me. Look at me, all they see is best failure love. But maybe I could make a little room for you.
I covered the skillet so that the broccoli that was frozen had an easier time defrosting and steaming up. Now I'm adding the remaining spices, cayenne to taste, and then salt and pepper.
Secrets to pour some more unto us all. Have to think about all my faults. Maybe I could make a little room for us. Bank all my hopes into a bed of trust. Light from the morning to dusk.
Next, we're going to make the sauce. There's 2 cups of water in that measuring cup, and then we're going to add 1/3 cup of soy sauce to that.
Maybe I could make a little room. Maybe I could. 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 Maybe I could make a little room.
I'm pouring it into this bigger bowl because I didn't have enough room to add the cornstarch. So you're going to add 4 tablespoons of cornstarch to the liquid and then stir well. I used a whisk and I kind of had to beat it against the bottom of the bowl a lot because all the cornstarch had kind of solidified down there. So you just want everything to be loose, no chunks of cornstarch anywhere, and then just well mixed so that it still feels liquid. And what this is going to do, this whole concoction right here, is it's going to make a very delicious kind of glaze or gravy for the rice and the broccoli and chickpeas. Once it's fully incorporated, add it to the skillet and then add your chickpeas to the skillet. This is the equivalent of 1 can of chickpeas, but I made them from dry chickpeas and boiled them myself the day before we actually made this. Then mix everything well, and you're going to let it simmer. It looks like you're supposed to boil it first to help it thicken, and then once it's boiled, kind of let it simmer or put it on really low heat, and it thickens up a lot faster that way. This is what it should look like when it's thickened enough. You can see it's still kind of boiling there. The sauce is very opaque. It's not very clear anymore, and it kind of sticks to the spoon while it slowly runs off. So then put some rice on a plate or bowl, and then add the contents from the skillet, including enough sauce if you're like me and you need to have wet rice. I don't know if this is an authentic recipe. I believe it's Asian inspired, but I'm a Cajun, and there's some sort of, I don't know if it's a saying or what. So you're seeing me here mix my rice in with the gravy or the sauce or whatever you want to call it. I grew up Catholic, and my priest at one point said that he went somewhere far away, and they tried to serve him just plain white rice with no gravy or nothing to put on it, and we don't eat it like that. It's weird, dry, gross, bland. So I have to mix my rice fully with everything I'm eating, otherwise it just doesn't work. All right, guys, this recipe was really delicious. I kind of miss it now and wish I had it in my fridge still. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Happy eating!